Hi friend, Daniel here, and today I'm going to show you how to start building credit when you have absolutely none, no credit, no history at all. What is credit? Credit is basically borrowing money from another person for a period of time for a set fee, and that fee is interest, and sometimes you can even borrow money for free. And why do you need credit? So the reason you need credit is for a variety of applications. Basically, it's so you borrow money, leverage somebody else's money to get things, to buy something before you actually have that money yourself. So some common uses of it is like a credit card, to where you can basically leverage a bank's money for 30 days typically before having to pay them back, or perhaps a home loan like a mortgage, also known as a mortgage, to buy a house, and only put 20% down, and the bank will give you 80% of the money to buy that house, and then you pay them every month until you pay it off. Perhaps a car loan, to get a car. Anyway, any of those reasons, even a business loan, right? You're going to need credit to do it. So if you're starting out, say you're a young person or somebody that just doesn't have any credit. For example, me, I'm 20 years old. Thankfully, I had the foresight just over a year ago to start building my credit. I should have done it sooner. I should have done it at 18. I'd have a year more credit history, right? But you want to start as soon as possible, because it's one of those things that when you need it, if you haven't started doing it already, you're not going to be able to, right? So in my own life, I've been applying to get some mortgages so I can buy a home. And had I not started building my credit before, I would not be able to do that. Another story is like my father. He actually owns a business, and he puts a lot of money. He owns a physical products business, and he has to buy inventory and things. So he puts a lot of money through a card every month, like tens of thousands of dollars, right? But that card wasn't actually attached to his personal credit. Like, it didn't actually report to his personal credit because of the way that the business is structured. And so he's like in his 40s, and he just applied for a credit card because he hasn't had any personal credit cards forever, basically. And they only gave him like a $500 limit, even though that he has a business that cycles tens of thousands of dollars a month through, which is funny. So he should have built his personal credit, or started doing it a long, long time ago, right? You need credit in your life, okay? Just if you use it properly. So with that story, what you're going to need, the tool that you're going to use to start building your credit is called a secured credit card, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you about what this is and then some best tips for using it, and one of the ones that I recommend after doing a ton of research, right? So what is a secure credit card? A secure credit card is a credit card that is backed up with your own money, right? So you put a deposit down. Now, if you were to try to get a credit card, which I did when I was first starting out, I applied to get like 3 or 4 different credit cards, and they all turned me down. And the reason is because I didn't have any credit history, right? I'd never had any debt or any loans up to that point, right? So they didn't know how I would handle debt, and so they decided to just not give me a card, right? So a secured credit card is basically a risk-free way to the bank to give you a real credit card that starts building real credit history that will enable you then into the future to get other types of loans and debt, such as better credit cards, mortgages, car loans, anything like that, right? So what you would do so what I did, my story is, and I didn't know a lot of the stuff that I'm telling you now, which is why I made this video, is I went down to my local bank and I was like, hey, I want a secure card. And they were like, okay. And so they gave me a secure card that was issued by actually a different bank, because this is a local small bank. They don't actually handle that stuff. And so now typically you can get a secure card for like as low as a $200 down deposit, which is not really that much money. That's an extra shift at work or a side job or something like that. I'm sure that you can come up with $200 to start building your credit. So I went down there and I actually gave them $1,000 because I figured, I'd get a higher credit limit, because typically the limit is however much your deposit is. And what the deposit does is basically, so you'll spend money on the card every month, right? And the bank figures if you don't pay it back after the term, they can simply keep your money, your deposit, and then just cancel your account, right? It's a risk-free way, because typically with an unsecured card, you wouldn't give them any money, and they would give you a line of credit, let's just say $1,000. And if you went and spent that $1,000 and then just didn't pay them back, and just like defaulted on the card, they would be out $1,000. So this is a risk-free way for the bank to give you credit, right? So I went down to the bank, got my secure card just over a year ago, gave them $1,000, so they hold my money as long as the account's open, right? And I now have this card that I can just make regular purchases on, okay? Now just recently, just over a month ago, I was able to go to that same bank after a year and say, hey guys, I've been with you for a year. can you please evaluate my account and see if I'm credit worthy enough to get a unsecured regular credit card? And so they did, and they said, yep, that's fine. And so they sent me a secure credit, or an unsecured credit card, and a check for my original $1,000 that I put on deposit. So now I'm $1,000 richer in my bank account, and I've got a real unsecured card that I can now use just like the old one, right? So what would I have done, and what you need to do now that I know better, right? So I would not go down to the local bank. I've actually done a ton of research on the best cards that you should get. And what I found is that the Discover It Secured is what it's called. Discover It Secured card is the best secure card on the market right after this video. So what this card's going to do for you is you can put as little as $200 down to open the account. It's actually one of the only cards that gives you rewards. My card doesn't even give rewards. So you can get like 2% cash back on all your gasoline and food or restaurant purchases, I believe, and then 1% cash back on everything else. Is up to a certain point. Also, you can get reevaluated in as little as 8 months to upgrade your card to an unsecured regular credit card. Like mine, the minimum amount was 12 months, which kind of sucked, but that's just the way it was. So with this, you can do it as little as 8 months. Also, they report to the top 3 credit bureaus, so your official score will be on, available to other people that can potentially give you credit and loans, like mortgages and car loans and other credit cards and things. And as well, very important, there is no annual fee. So you especially don't want an annual fee because you're going to keep this account open forever. All right, you want to keep it open probably till the day you die, because the longer, and this is going into the best practices. So yeah, if you like this stuff, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for more value like this. And here's some best practices for you. So when you get your secure card, which will be very easy, it's a risk-free way for the bank. So just all you got to do is cough up $200, and they give you a secure card that you can start building credit with, which is fantastic. So then you can start getting other loans and things like that. So best practices: always pay your card off before the end of the month or the term, right? Never keep a balance on your card. There's no reason to keep a balance on your card. You do not get any higher credit rating or anything like that. Just always pay it off by the day, every 30 days before that it rolls over and you have to start paying interest on that money. You never want to pay any interest, right? Another thing, only use up to 10% of the utilization, right? So one of the biggest factors in your credit history is how long your accounts have been open, how many and how long your credit accounts have been open, and then how much of it you use. It's called utilization, how much of the credit. So say you have a $200 limit, you should only spend up to $20 every month, so you can have the maximum, like the best rating in terms of utilization. Lower is typically better. 10% is a good number. 30% you're still okay, but anything above 30% and they kind of bing you, and they don't like that. So just, with your $200 limit, just spend, $20 on like a meal or something, or fill up your gas tank or whatever. And that's what you need to do. Another thing is always keep the card open, right? So what I did is just recently with my secure card, I was like, hey, can you upgrade me to an unsecured card, give you my money back, but maintain that same initial account, right? So the same credit account. So even though I have a different card with different like perks and stuff, the original account is still open. So now I have a year on my credit history that other creditors can go and look at and say, oh, this guy has had his account open for a whole year and he's been, great. He's paid it off on time and he doesn't have very high utilization. I think I'm going to give him some more money. And he, he can potentially pay me interest, right? So that's how the credit companies get you. They prey on foolish people that don't pay their credit card off on time. Then they charge them exorbitant, rates like 25% interest rates on all the money they haven't paid back, right? So you don't want to be a fool and let your credit have a balance on it. You want to be wise and just keep it open so you can get other loans and leverage the bank's money while paying minimal, if not any, interest. Okay. So, yep, that's about it. If please hit up the like button and go ahead and click the link down below. I put a link to this Discover It Secured. I researched about 10 different websites and discovered that one was the best credit card available on the market at the time of this recording. And so I'll just save you the time. It is an affiliate link, I believe. So, I will get a little bit of a kickback, but, if you feel like this has been valuable, why not? And if not, you can just go Google it on the line and not give me any commission, which will make me sad. But I'd rather you click the like button anyway. So click the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next chapter.